welcome to another Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is February 2nd, and it is Groundhog's Day today.
Groundhog Day. Gigantic day in Vegas.
Yeah.
Huge. Not really.
Everybody's looking for the groundhog in Vegas.
Yeah, not really. I don't think anybody cares. There's no betting on the groundhog, so, it doesn't really matter.
That's right. 2-1 on the groundhog.
Yeah, really.
Okay, but the big news this week is that Super Bowl is coming. What's up?
Set and coming.
It's set and it's coming. It's the Rams against the Bengals. I'm from LA, so go Rams. We're going to have a good time. What's the line going to be, Anthony?
Well, the line, it opened around 4.
Okay.
In most places, some 4 and some 3.5s. It moved right now it's at 4.5. Favorite being the Rams. The Rams are 4.5-point favorites. The total opened at 50 and it dropped down to 48 and has bounced back at this point to 48.5. So the total is how many points will be scored in the game from both sides together. The Super Bowl, it's not going to be played in Vegas this year. It hasn't been yet. It'll be here in 2024. But it is just one of the biggest weeks or 2 weeks leading up to it of the year, really, here.
Yeah.
Because everybody's getting ready for it. If you're not going to be at the game, I would say even if you had a choice to be at the game or be in Vegas, I'd rather be in Vegas.
Me too.
I mean, it's such a party atmosphere here. And when the game goes on, it's amazing. The sports books are crazy, and it's just a fun time here.
Yeah. Well, now in Vegas, there's a lot of different things that you can bet on. Last year, we talked about different prop bets, like you can bet on how long the national anthem will be sung, fun things like that.
Well, you can't bet on that in Vegas. Vegas will have hundreds of props. I mean, literally, some of them will touch 1,000. Some of these casinos will have 1,000 props.
Okay.
But you can't bet on things that are not in the game itself. You can bet on things like the national anthem offshore.
Okay.
And those lines are going to be there. And when we do this, we don't know what those lines are yet. The singer is going to be Mickey Guyton. Who's that?
We don't know her.
Who that?
We don't know who she is.
No, I don't know who she is. I mean, I looked her up, and I guess she's a big deal. A new person on the scene, Grammy nominated, all of this sort of thing. But there will be a line on how long it'll take her to sing the anthem, over or under, and we'll report what that line is next week before the game. We'll have more information about what a lot of these prop bets are going to be. Yeah. But this is the week when all the professionals go to work. Oh. This is the week when the pros are waiting for the different lines to come out at the different places. Now, the game lines aren't going to change that much. They're not going to be that different, if at all, from betting house to betting house. Okay. But the props will be very different. So they'll be looking for, getting over and under different numbers on different players and trying to get in between for middles. It's pretty cool to watch it happen.
Okay, now, are there any prop bets that you're specifically excited about?
Me, not now. I mean, I'm not really an expert at that. That's not something I do. I work with Frank B., well known in the business, and he'll have plenty of things that, basically he tells me and I just go bet them. So Right now I don't have anything, to talk about in terms of what I think is good or bad. They haven't put the lines up yet, so, there's no way to know. Okay. Where there might be weak spots.
All right, so that might be something that we can follow up on next week, like some interesting lines and some cool things.
Yeah, next week we'll have a pre-Super Bowl, update, and we'll talk a lot more about things we've seen and what's out there.
And then last year, and also on Las Vegas Advisor, there's a blog about Mattress MACK and how much he's betting. Do you have any idea what he's going to be betting on this year?
Well, I mentioned Frank B. Frank and I work with MACK when he does promotions for his store. Mm-hmm. And it looks like his promotion is going to be, centered on the Bengals. He's going to, if his customers buy mattresses or buy furniture and the Bengals win, they get it all for free.
Wow.
So Mac will be betting on the Bengals probably, one way or another to hedge that. He hasn't made a bet yet, so we don't know what it is. We'll probably know that by next week too.
Okay, so that's something to report on. And if you don't know who Mattress Mack is, he's one of the biggest sports bettors in the country, right?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about Mac is, everyone says, this guy is a crazy, degenerate gambler. Well, not at all. What Mac is doing is he's using the sports betting markets to hedge his liability for giving furniture back from his promotions.
Right.
So what he's really doing is really smart.
Okay.
And it's something, he's kind of breaking new ground there.
Yeah.
In a way, instead of taking out regular insurance, he's making sports bets.
That's super cool.
It makes him look like, they say he's a degenerate, he gambles too much. No, he's a very smart guy who's making very smart financial moves.
Well, also, if you're like a customer and you have an opportunity to buy a mattress that you might get the money back on, or that you won't for sure get the money back on, I'd take Mattress Mack.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Of course you take a shot. I mean, when it happens, when it comes in, if the Bengals were to win, assuming that's the way he's going to go, everybody's going to get their money back. They get free furniture.
Yeah, so go and buy that $5,000 bed that you've always wanted from Mattress Mack.
Absolutely.
And he's in Houston, right?
Yeah, he's in Houston.
Okay, so if you're out there, Texas, go check out Mattress Mack. Where are the parties going to be, Anthony?
Well, the parties are being announced all over the place right now. The parties are going to be everywhere. I mean, everyone's going to be having parties, from private parties for high rollers at the big casinos to open to everybody type things. Right now, there's been 2 announced that are going to be open with no charge. One at South Point, one at Binion's. I'm sure that both of those will be good. The big screens will be up.
Yeah.
All of the bars will be going. We'll have something going on. All of the sports books are going to be jammed.
I bet Circa's going to be hot this year.
Well, Circa's got about 6 or 7 different options of things you can do out by the pool or inside or whatever. So when you come to town, if you see something you like, then you do it. We might talk about that next week if we find some good ones. But at the very worst, just go to a sports book.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. It's electric. Everybody's got money on the game. Everyone's screaming and yelling. It's a great place to watch. If I don't go to a private party, I usually go to a sports book or a bar to watch it.
Now I'm going to ask a crazy question because, why can't we call it the Super Bowl in promotions? Why do we have to say, come watch the big game? Everyone's got the big game. We all know it's the Super Bowl. Why can't we call it the Super Bowl?
Well, that was the crazy thing, for years and years in Vegas. You couldn't call it the Super Bowl because it was a trademark infringement. And at least that's what the NFL would allege, and there could be legal problems. So everybody changed it to the big game. So now we've got the NFL as, in bed with gambling. And the Super Bowl is going to be in Vegas. I think that they're going to relax that, but people are still calling it the big game.
I know.
I think maybe they're just used to it. I mean, it was dumb when it started. It's dumb now, but they kind of keep doing it.
Okay. All right. So that's the answer to that question. It's dumb then, it's dumb now, but we're still going to call it the big game in promotions. But we all know we're going to see the Super Bowl.
Right. And one more thing, this is a big weekend. We're not going to talk anything about it, but that the NHL All-Star Game is being played in Vegas this Saturday.
Okay.
The Pro Bowl, the NFL Pro Bowl, is playing on Sunday. It's just been announced that Major League Soccer is going to bring its 30th team to Vegas.
That's right.
And there's talk of a Formula One race being run on the Strip.
Okay.
All this is going on. I mean, it's just becoming, sports city here. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So sports and entertainment is just really getting kicked up here in beautiful Las Vegas. People on the message board asked us last episode, they said, why aren't you guys commenting on Adele? So we would like to comment on Adele. What's going on with Adele, Anthony?
Well, it was a postponement.
Yeah.
Adele was supposed to play starting last month. She was supposed to play X number of shows, I think, X number of weekends through April. And on the eve of the first show, she sent out a tweet saying, I'm so sorry, my show ain't ready.
Okay.
And basically all of the shows were, if not canceled, postponed.
And this is at the Coliseum at Caesars. This is like one of the hottest venues, most expensive venues in
Well,
Vegas.
that's why a lot of people were asking in the comments, were like, well, you kept talking about Adele, like she was the greatest thing since, sliced bread. And you don't say anything about when she canceled. But, it was just, the news was breaking, right? The news was breaking just as we were about to do that podcast, and nobody knew what was going on. Nobody still knows, really. I mean, they give, out of her camp, they say it has to do with delivery problems, the supply chain. They couldn't get stuff she needed. They said it had to do with COVID issues, that a lot of people in the crew had tested positive, and there were problems there. But there are also a lot of reports now that there's just some infighting there, specifically that she wasn't happy with what they wanted to do with the staging and the production and all of that. There's some talk of stage fright. I mean, that seems crazy to me. Stage fright. This woman's been, maybe she has a little bit of a problem with it, but she's been doing it, for years and years. So I just can't believe that this isn't going to be worked out. But as of now, everything's up in the air.
Yeah. Okay, so we will continue to update you on this Adele story once we know more.
Yep.
And Anthony, here's a cool one. The Ghost Bar from the Palms, the original Ghost Bar, I guess, is coming back to the Palms.
Yes, it was just an announcement made that when the Palms reopens this spring, we still don't have an exact date, but the nightclub on the top is going to be the Ghost Bar again, which it was originally. You know, it opened in 2001 when the Palms opened. It was given credit, or it still is given credit as being one of the first ultra lounges, as they called it.
Okay.
So what it was instead of a club being in a big club, it was a club being in a small space.
Right.
And that was at the rooftop lounge on top of the Palms. And it was called the Ghost Bar, and it was one of the hottest places in town. It was fun. It was a cool place to go to. Had a great view of the city.
Yep.
And then it changed it when it was taken over by Station Casinos. They changed the name to Apex Social Club, I think it was called. And that's what it remained until the Palms closed. But when it reopens, they're going to have that up there, and it's going to be Ghost Bar again. They bring back that iconic name.
Yeah. Well, and also what was iconic about the Ghost Bar was that it was so high up, and they had that glass. They had like a big glass piece that you could look all the way down.
Yeah, they had
floors.
the glass window. I
Yeah.
mean, they had a glass window in the floor where people would, have a few beers and stand over that thing and see how you feel. It was definitely a very different idea that nobody had done before.
It was a thrill.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I used to. I'll tell you, I don't like heights.
Yeah.
I'm just not crazy about heights. It's not that I won't go up. I'll do that. But looking down at that thing gave me the creeps. It really did.
I remember it was a lot of fun. I got to come to Vegas in 2004 for the Cine Vegas Film Festival, which is also at the Palms and the Brendan Theaters.
Yeah.
And,
Everybody must have been there. I mean, that must have been really cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. So I'm excited to see the Ghost Bar coming back. And it's the Ghost Bar, man. It's going to be cool.
And it's going to be run by the San Manuel Indian tribe. And I've been schooled. I was saying San Manuel.
Okay.
I'm told not to say Manuel. It's San Manuel.
San Manuel. All right. Well, welcome back to Vegas. Or welcome to Vegas.
Welcome to Vegas. Welcome to Vegas.
All right, and our jackpot of the week comes to us from David B., and he says, my wife and I are locals here in Las Vegas. We play at the South Point. My wife is a damn good video poker player. Hit 2 Royals 2 weeks ago at the South Point bar. 1 progressive and 1 for 50 cents about 2 hours apart. 2 machines apart. Okay, so it's 2 hours apart and 2 machines apart. When she switched machines, I sat down and got dealt 4 2s with a kicker on $2 double-double bonus. It was a good day at the South Point. What do you think about that, Anthony?
I guess it was a good day. I mean, put that all together, what's that, about $9K?
Yeah.
It's funny. He's like, my wife's a damn good video poker player. Well, when you hit 2 Royals in one day, I guess you're damn good.
That's right.
Whether you are or not. And, she may be. So let's analyze them. Let's take a quick look at them. The first one was for 2K. Sure enough, they were playing a good game, 9-6 jacks or better. That's a 99.54% return. The second one, 5,200, she's playing 9-5 double-double bonus. Now, that 9-5 double-double bonus game is not really great. It starts off at reset at 97.87%. But as the royal flush goes up on that progressive, for every dollar it goes up on the meter, the return goes up. All right, so when she was playing it, it hit it at that number, which was a little under 5,200. The return on that had gone up to 98.5%. So that's the way progressives work. As the amount of the progressive goes up, it becomes a better and better game for you, the player. They all have every progressive has a break-even point, meaning that you're now playing equal with the house. The break-even point on this is somewhere around 7,800 on this particular game. So she was pretty well under break-even still at 98.5. But if that royal flush had gotten to 7,800, she would be playing even, and as it went above that, she would actually be playing with an advantage, which is what a lot of pros look for.
Right. Okay, so basically there's a bunch of video poker machines with progressives, and the progressives keep going up as people play, and the progressive is for hitting a royal. So once the progressive hits a certain number, the game actually becomes even or a positive.
And it doesn't have to be on the royal. They can be progressives on just about almost anything.
Oh, sure, like 4 of a kind.
Yeah, and they put it on the harder to hit hands. You're not going to get a progressive on a 2 pair, that sort of thing. But all of these things can be quantified till you get to a point where you can calculate the break even. Okay. I mean, we've got a whole book on it. It's called The Secret World of Video Poker Progressives by a guy named Frank Neeland. And Frank's kind of a friend of LVA. He's blogged for us in the past, and we're going to be doing more with Frank. So you might want to look for him. But the book is it's complicated. It's not for beginners, but it really does explain how the whole progressive thing works.
Well, is there something for beginners that's just like a map or something where it can like say, hey, there's a high progressive that hasn't hit in.
You say where you can go to and say where are the high progressives?
Yeah, where are
today?
the high progressives? Yeah. Where can I find them?
You can't. There's no such thing.
All right.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they're here, then they're gone.
They're working in real time.
Yeah, and you've got, a progressive goes up to a point, and first of all, you got to know about it, and second, once you publicize it, people would flock to it until it gets hit, and then it's not there any longer. There have been attempts to do this. I mean, going back 20 years ago, have been attempts to post where progressives are running, but they never make it because the logistics of doing it, just the process itself just doesn't lend itself. So no, the only way you find out about progressives that you don't see yourself are by knowing people who will tell you.
Okay.
So that's what the pros do also. They tell one another. There's a quid pro quo. You tell me, I'll tell you, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I used to call it the information conduit.
Okay.
And if you're in the information conduit, you learn about progressives. Otherwise, you got to kind of stumble across them.
Okay. So there's nowhere to really go look. South Point's got a progressive. You got to just go there and see.
Yeah, you got to look at it. When you're walking through, you just look at them and you want to know where the break-even points are. And for that, there's another tool for that. That's the Gene Scott Frugal Gambler Scouting Guide.
Okay.
And that tells you where the break-evens are at all these different things. So there's tools for how to find these things and play these things.
Okay. I'll put links in the description box if anybody wants the book or the Gene Scott Frugal.
Yeah, these are good products.
Yeah. People actually have got them and written based on this show, and they write and they go, hey, I got it. This is cool.
Right.
All right. So speaking of good products, the Member Rewards book is out. The 2022 Member Rewards book is out. And here at LVA, we've actually created a map. You've asked for it, so here it is.
Yeah, the MRB map.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, well, it would be cool to know where the Member Rewards book is our coupon book, with gambling bonuses and 2-for-1s on food and drinks and things like that. And people go, well, it'd be nice to know where they are. And I never thought this would be very valuable, but so many people asked for it, and you suggested it, and our staff wanted to make it, so they created it. And it's pretty, I got to say, it's pretty valuable. When I look at it, it does show you where you can, where the concentration of deals are that come from us. So it's kind of neat, and we're going to keep working on it. We're going to build it out. We're going to make it better.
Yeah. So, but it's a great start. So, like, if you're planning your trip, planning your day, you can look and you say, okay, I'm going to be near Ellis Island. So right across the street from Ellis Island is Silver Sevens, and across the street from that is Virgin. So I'm going to make that my day. I'm going to go to Ellis Island. I'm going to go to Virgin. I'm going to go to Silver Sevens. And then maybe the next day I'm going to go downtown and hit 5 or 6 places.
Right. So, we think that's going to be helpful.
Yeah. Anything going on with the masks?
Well, actually, there is a little bit of a change. The change being that there's finally, for the first time in months, there's talk of it might be time to rescind the mandate.
Okay.
All right. I've seen some editorials in the paper, and I've heard on the news of people saying we think that it's about time. We've been wearing the mask long enough, and based on evidence and things that are going on, the dropping of positivity rates and things like that it might be time to drop the mask mandate. It hasn't happened yet, but it might be around the corner.
All right. Well, that's really interesting because I'm just wearing them. I'm like one of the guys. I'm just used to it now. I just wear a mask. I bring it everywhere I go. And
and then a bunch of people, according to the comments that we see under the videos, they say that's when I'm coming back.
Right.
How many times have we read that? I'm not coming back till the masks are gone. So
that's right. A lot of people don't want to come until they can come without a mask.
You might be coming soon.
All right. That sounds good. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us when you like and leave comments and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah,
helps us with the algorithm.
We're getting more. We're getting more views.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. We'll keep going.
Yeah. Super cool. We'll keep going. Got more stuff coming out. We have a video on Circa that we're going to be releasing soon.
Any day.
Tour.
Any day on that one. Watch that one. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we had some fun with that. We were drinking some beers with that one, so we had some fun with it.
Definitely. So that's coming out. That's it for today, and we'll see you next week.